Okay, you're gonna be streaming all day.
It was my pleasure. On behalf of the men and women at
We're gonna be here all day, ain't we?
Drivers,
Jesus.
start your engines.
I hope I got the energy. I hope I have this in me. I really do. It's gonna be tough.
All right, the drivers are in their office. Last minute words of wisdom, last minute advice. It's gonna be a blast.
Once again, I was sleeping so damn good. I was sleeping so good. I stayed up till like 3:30, close to 4, like an idiot. May not even stop the stream today. We may just go all the way through. Whoops, let me turn that down. We may just go all the way through. So the Xfinity race is starting. I don't think Indy starts for another hour. Then I'll leave it up to everybody what sound they want to hear, because I can only have one TV blasting in my face at a time. Indy 500 is today. Yes, it's in about an hour. Whew. They're talking to Mario right now. I've got the Indy 500 on a second TV here. I've got it turned down low, though. God. Damn, I could have done with some more sleep. That was some good sleep I was getting. What's this going to be like having my fan behind me today? Is it going to come up on the mic? To get that second TV in here, I had to move a whole bunch of shit around. And I don't think it's going to work. Well, the TV's working, but my fan and shit. Oh, got it facing the wrong way. Idiot. There we go. Now I can get some cool air on me. Oh, fudge. Okay, there we go. Alright, still getting shit sorted out in here. Hey, Lori. So look at this. We're on NASCAR website and we're on IndyCar race control, but there's nothing on there right now because the race hasn't started. Yeah, this will be the one time a year I keep up with an IndyCar race during a NASCAR race, but I felt it was a special occasion. It is messing with my head that the Indy 500 is today and that we're not in the middle of May. We're in the middle of August. That is really just... That's got me all screwed up. I didn't realize how much it would, like, bother me. It's not bothering me, but I'm like, whoa, it's not May? Why are we not going to Charlotte today? And why is NASCAR at Dover?
Dryden Performance Products, the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication. Dryden.com.
Heavy-duty lubrication.
Official credit car of NASCAR. Perfect for race fans. And by Toyota.
Oh, God. Lame music video. NBC, please. They don't do that shit for IndyCar, do they?
Everybody knows Allgaier's name from his win yesterday. He's so good here at Dover. Let's take a look at the starting grid for today's Xfinity Series race brought to you by Dryden. The top 15, Jeff, as you mentioned, they are inverted. So Moffitt and Brandon Brown will be on the front row. Clemens and Sieg on row 2. Chase Briscoe, though, back on row 3. He'll be going to the back of the field due to a backup car.
Yeah, they let Briscoe have the backup car.
See right here, these are the guys that see how far back they're having to start. Austin Cindric all the way back in row 8 winning that race. A lot of work to do.
Yeah, as we look down through the rest of the field here, patience is going to be a key. And in a 200-mile race, it's hard to have patience. But these drivers that were fast yesterday and ran and finished up front are going to have to...
It's going to be a long day. God damn, wake up, motherfucker. Same as yesterday. I was in the middle of good sleep, and then the alarm went off. I was like, shit. So Brett Moffitt and Brandon Brown on the front row.
not the way you want to start the day on pit road. Looks like they have the hood up.
Well, I like having this chair with the other TV sitting on it in front of me, so I put my leg up on something. This is comfortable.
Let's listen in to what they're at.
It feels like I don't have power steering. As it came back,
Anthony Alfredo already feels like he's lost power steering.
really hurt the nerves. Alright guys, we're gonna have to look at the power steering and see what we got going on here.
Oh boy, guys, power steering at Dover, already tough racetrack.
Yeah, it's really difficult and a tough break for Anthony Alfredo. His first trip to Dover was yesterday, and he was going to be able to rely on that experience, was going to be able to start fifth. Now, without power steering, if it doesn't come back, DJ, that is a tough road to hoe.
Didn't Dale Earnhardt win Dover without power steering before?
Yeah, you talk about one of the most difficult places there in Bristol. Would be
These kids today are so soft.
because you're going so fast and everything you have to do in the corner. So he's in for a full workout. I hope he didn't go to the gym this morning.
Well, he'll lose his starting position because of that issue that brought him to pit road. But let's dial up another driver, Jeff. Let's talk to
I like it
the
for
third
him
place
it's not a
finisher
400 lap
yesterday,
race.
Ross Chastain.
Hey, Ross, it's Burton up in the booth. You with us?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. We spoke this morning, and your third place finish yesterday. You were really excited about today. What are you going to have to do a little bit better to get this win?
A little more speed. We felt both sides of the balance tight smooth yesterday, and still was third place car. So I think, like you said, a little more
This race will be like, what, half over by the time Indy starts?
We'll have a shot driving from the same spot we started yesterday.
Why isn't Indy starting now? Shouldn't Indy start at like 1 or 1:30? It would be 12:30 there,
Your
but
guy likes to go to that top lane pretty quickly. I'm assuming the tracks are going to be ready for that right off the bat. You're going to be heading in that direction?
oh yeah, I love the field inversion in these races today.
Didn't see much penalty for it yesterday, so
That might spice things up a little bit
yeah.
for at least a little while.
Chris Wright,
Till everybody that usually runs up front gets up front.
They tell me to be diligent and be disciplined, stay on the bottom. So I go up there as much as they'll let me and have a little fun and get back to the bottom, make a little lap time. So be learning as we go, for sure.
All right, good luck, and we appreciate the time you spent with us this morning. Have a great day.
Damn.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the ride.
We appreciate Ross taking the time to chat with us. And on board, Ross Chastain, the Nutrient Ag Solutions onboard camera. It's going to be a great... I love when drivers run this clear visor. We can see their eyes work in the mirror and out the windshield. See if we put some work in today. And his teammate, Justin Haley, both out of College Racing, he'll have the leaf filter onboard camera.
Going green next
While we're
time.
talking about it, it's the Monster Mile. 1 mile high back.
Starting to think I should have just done the cup race today, but fuck it, we're here now.
45 lap stage 1, 45 lap stage 2. They're sprints.
We're here now.
In a hurry. The final stage 110 laps. Pit road very slow at 35 miles per hour. It's needed because it has very small pit boxes. Fuel window 85 to 90 laps, but we will see a competition yellow again today. There's been a couple drivers.
Show the NFL commercial on NBC on the Indy 500 coverage.
The opportunity to make adjustments. So we'll get a yellow here in stage 1.
Wait, what?
All right, we saw him go to victory lane a day ago. Justin Allgaier in the 7. Let's listen to a pep talk before we see the green.
How long is Moffitt going to lead? No, Michael Annett's going to probably get the lead. He's the best car up front.
Be methodical, be smart, pass these guys the easy way, not the hard way. Go have the fun.
I like everything I'm hearing, drivers. Up and down season, but this 7 stuck with it. You can see the relief when he got to stand on the door of that car. Jason Burdett on top of the pit box put together a winning combination yesterday.
I wish when I was driving, he'd have told me what the easy way was. That would have been helpful.
So I got an idea.
All right, so this green, very, very interesting. You mentioned it a couple times. Inverting to the field.
Where's the mute button on this piece of shit? There it is. Had to mute the other TV.
See how they do. We can see green flags in the air. Brandon Brown and Brett Moffitt take us down.
Go Moffitt. Ooh, Sieg already going to the inside. How did Sieg already get clear of Brandon Brown before they even got to turn 1?
Outside lane, how good it's running. The 9 car.
Comes Justin Haley around the top with Dickhead Herbst and Dipshit Gregson.
Very careful right here.
Boy, Sieg looked like he was going to take the lead. Now he's all the way back to like 9th.
Pretty wide corners, but it all funnels.
Moffitt leads lap 1, but he's got company. Justin Haley's right behind him.
And you make your time on the exit of the corners, and you talk about the corners.
Let's get this first race over with.
Start that exit part of it where you first get to the straightaway, because it really narrows up. Find yourself either getting cut off or cutting someone
Moffitt's leading. We're on lap 3.
Side by side. Now Chastain climbs the banking.
Come on, Moffitt, overachieved today
Chastain kind of guessing which lane to go with.
for what he's driving.
That's always the hard decision that a driver has to make when you get yourself in that position of cars side by side. Who's going to be able to make this
Well,
move?
Sieg is out of the top 10.
And, Russell chose the wrong side that time. Actually lost a spot to Allgaier there.
Within 4 laps, he's out of the top 10.
22 of Cindric paddling back up through. 20 of Harrison Burton trying to follow him back up to the front. The 0-2 of
Moffitt's trying to check out.
Full time in the Truck Series, part-time in Xfinity's first ever laps led in an Xfinity Series car. Just an unbelievable story. This young man, 28-year-old, broke both femurs, guys, during the pandemic.
There's a slight chance of a random rain shower today, so keep an eye out for that. And oh yeah, Dover doesn't have lights, and we're starting the race at 4 o'clock.
Brett's a really good race car driver.
Awesome, right?
Won truck championship.
But it's just a slight chance of rain. It's not that big of a deal.
I was really impressed with Brett, his ability to learn quickly. He'll give this car, as he does every week, he'll give it a good run. Dylan.
Yeah, Justin Haley's closing in for the lead now. But it's good to see Moffitt out front, trying to check out.
So positive signs here early. Felt like they had a really good car yesterday, and nice to get some early laps led under their belt here.
Allgaier up to 6th. Really loose off the corner after he passed Michael Annette. He's 2 spots ahead of Cindric. That feels like the real race because they're the 2 best cars.
I think he works traffic as well as anyone. I actually look back at yesterday's race where he passed his teammate 3 wide and then fought off the battle of the 22 as the turning point in that race. You see right here,
Damn.
7 has worked traffic and stayed ahead of the 22 while doing it.
Yeah, Justin makes really good decisions, especially when he has good race cars.
Cindric passed Michael Annette around the outside.
Your car isn't the best. You start trying to make things happen.
For 8th.
Justin's able to kind of look at what's ahead of him, and now that he's more of a veteran in this series, he makes better decisions, and that allows him to get himself in a winning position more often.
I won't lie. Every once in a while, DJ, he fires into that 2nd or 3rd lane to take my breath away because he does it with so much commitment. He doesn't like feel it out. He just has confidence to go there when it comes to traffic.
Well, it takes his breath too. He's just good at handling that type of situation.
Well, that's what we're going to look at right here on board with Justin Haley. All right, Burton, take me around here. What is Haley looking at to try to get by the 0-2? Apparently, Allgaier had an easy way to pass. Do you know it?
I don't know it, but I can tell you what Haley's trying to do. So this racetrack is so fast. You hear about drivers falling down the hill. Well, this is why. As you drive into turn 1, you literally go downhill, trying to get your left side right against that asphalt. Then the car goes up the racetrack and try to leave on the bottom. This is on new tires. On older tires, you can move around a little bit. What he's trying to do is just carry speed right through.
I got a milkshake on the way. Yay!
You can meet someone there.
I'm still dieting, so I'm not eating breakfast or lunch, but I am going to have this fucking milkshake.
The 98 Chase Briscoe started in a backup car.
Hey, Chase Briscoe's up 17 positions. Make that 18.
Already only 11 laps in here at the Dover. Oh, yellow on the
Caution's out. What happened? Ooh, Vinnie Miller.
Miller in the 78. Heavy contact. We were heading to
That's a
break.
blown right front for damn sure. Vinnie Miller hit the wall pretty hard.
Big
They were getting ready to go to commercial here at the Dover, as Steve Letarte called it. He called it the Dover. So what, Dale Jr.'s not calling this race? He can't be bothered to get up before 1:30? I had to get up. Oh, good God. Miller cleared himself in front of Jeffrey Earnhardt and got turned into the outside wall. Never mind, that was not a blown right front. Well, the right front's blown now. But nah, he got hooked into the wall because he tried to clear himself.
In the gas, trying to carry a lot of speed to make a pass there, and you just don't. Sometimes even getting out of the throttle doesn't do any good, and you find yourself in that situation in a couple of hard hits.
It gets really tight off that corner. I mean, everybody kind of funnels up to that outside wall.
And now they go to commercial. Good, perfect timing. I don't think Moffitt wanted to see that caution. He had a nice little run going there. Didn't have a huge lead because Justin Haley was within 3/10 of him. But still. Sure he would have liked to see this race stay strung out. What do you want, Ozzy? You gonna come over here and knock something over? Is that what you're doing? Never met a cat that didn't like to knock shit over for no reason. You know, I was just thinking this morning when about an hour ago. Well, no, I only woke up about 45 minutes ago. I was thinking about, I was at the 2011 Coke 600, and I got there really early in the day, and I watched most of the Indy 500 on a big Sprint billboard outside the track. They had like a video screen outside the track, not the big screen in the track. But they had like a Sprint thing set up, and people were over there watching the Indy 500, and I was watching when J.R. Hildebrand came off turn 4 and broke traction and just flew into the outside wall. And I was like, oh my God, that poor guy. That poor man. Didn't even know who he was at the time, but I just feel so bad for him. You know, I saw there was a lot of people online like, imagine actually watching Dover instead of the Indy 500. Ha ha ha. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm watching both at the same time. I'm smarter than you. I'm going to watch both. How you like that? This is my practice for football this year. I think I can get the 2 TVs in here for football games. So I don't have to make you guys look at a blue screen again if you're going to bother to watch me.
Select up to 8 different cameras, or you can choose a multi-view with 4 at one time. Visit NASCAR.com/drive or download the mobile app today.
I'm a smart guy.
Early yellow.
2 TVs. I wish I had a second TV of my own. I used to, but me and my buddy Ben accidentally made it fall off a table and it shattered because it was real cheap. It was nice having that second TV for a few weeks before that happened. That was tragic, dude.
Talk about track position and making moves early. Just as we went away to break, we talked about Chase Briscoe started in the back. He's up 18 spots since the start, all the way up to the 16th position. Another driver, currently in the 14th position in the 93 car, Myatt Snyder. Jesse, you have more on Myatt?
Yeah, definitely. So Myatt Snyder currently running in the top 15. I talked to him last night and I was wondering, hey Myatt, what are you doing to get ready for this race today? I know you ran yesterday. It's your first time really running Xfinity here. What are you doing? He's saying he's using SMT. SMT is giving him data, showing him a comparison between him and some of the veteran drivers out there. He can compare.
I wonder what Jesse and Wuji's SMT data looks like. Probably very slow. He's probably so slow he doesn't even come up on the computer.
This type of data is crucial, especially for a young driver who doesn't have the practice laps here. So that SMT is definitely helping him out here. He's looking to get inside the top 10.
Thanks, Chances with a crew chief. I love that. Drivers, I feel like everybody gets to, steal your skill sets. Where do you guys stand on having all this data?
Well, let's just keep in mind that SMT
Going
data
green next
in the
time.
series isn't the same as in the Cup Series. In the Cup Series, you have real life throttle, brake, steering, all that. In the Xfinity Series, it's simulated. So it's off of speed, and the computer simulated. So you have to be careful. The speed's real, all that information is real. But as a driver, you really have to.
Moffitt
be
still
cautious
leader.
how you use all that information
Justin Haley, Brandon Brown, Riley Herbst.
Yeah, you can definitely get you a little sideways. Another thing you have to be cautious about is this choose rule. We've seen it now a little bit, DJ.
Yep.
Basically, at 1 to go, you get to choose outside lane, inside lane. Brett Moffitt chose the top, Haley the bottom. Yesterday, we saw mixed reviews.
Yeah, that makes things a little bit more exciting, and you don't have anything to blame it on if you have a bad restart. You're the one that chose that. But I like the idea that a lot of them are taking that inside, gaining a few spots there, and just seeing what they can make of it.
Having the fan behind me is really nice because it's not blowing straight on me, but I can still feel the cool air.
Inside, outside.
Yeah, I like this new setup with the 2 TVs in here.
They feel a little while to get used to
During
it.
football season, this will be a necessity.
We know there's a competition yellow go. It's a green flag waves. Brett Moffitt accelerates on the outside lane.
I can't wait till football season. I'm so excited. Moffitt gets a great restart. Clears Justin Haley to the bottom. Here comes Herbst around the outside with a better car. Less talent, though. So I doubt he'll be able to do anything.
Takes control of the race.
But right now, Moffitt is in control.
Jeff, you were talking about how good a driver he is. I'm really
Whoa, Brandon Brown got into the side of Noah Gregson, sent him up the racetrack. I like the way you think, Brandon Brown.
It can get you attention quite a few times, but Noah did a great job of hanging on.
Look, like I said earlier, if I'm doing every race today, then Dale Jr. should have had to get up and do this race. Ooh, Justin Haley and Riley Herbst racing hard for second. Moffitt checking out, brother.
Big slide, very
Chastain 3 wide around the outside of Herbst and Justin Haley. You better get around Herbst. He's a fucking idiot. There you go. Ross Chastain to second. He just passed 2 cars coming off of 4. Go Ross.
2 spots. I didn't have to do anything for it.
I don't see a tire rub on the side of that 9 car.
No, but look at Gregson comes
Unfortunately, Gregson did not get a tire rub when Brandon Brown ran into him.
Bill was fast yesterday. Led the race for a while, lost track position. Seemed like he had a really tough time once he lost track position. He was very fast.
At 68, I'm having a hard time focusing anywhere else. He is sideways every time I look at him. This 22 is Cindric. Looks nervous to be behind him, right? He's trying to find his way by, but doesn't want to end this day.
One thing we know about Brandon Brown, he isn't scared.
Cindric having a little harder time getting through traffic than Chastain or Allgaier.
Now, I don't think that changed anything. Just
Cindric stuck behind Brandon Brown in 8th place.
Let's just give it a try again today and see if you improve.
I'm glad. It's fun to watch.
And for the 2 people that care, well, for Jeremy Clement's parents and Brandon Brown's parents, Jeremy Clements is 39 points behind Brandon Brown at the playoff cut line. And I'll try to keep you updated in the Cup race because I'm really concerned about Jimmy Johnson and William Byron, so that's why I was keeping such a close eye on them yesterday.
You're not glued to only the bottom of the racetrack. You can move up if it suits your car.
And then you saw he went straight back to the bottom of the racetrack. It wasn't that he was faster on the top. It's just that the car in front of him, Michael Annett, was a little bit slower, so he could jump on the outside of it, and that's why you mentioned
Caution's out again.
Competition.
Why are we having a competition caution when we raced here yesterday?
Lap 20.
Why is there a competition caution when we already fucking raced here yesterday?
3 sets of tires in
Do they really just not want Brett Moffitt to check out or something?
Stage 1, the end of stage 2, and at some point
So
stage 3,
stupid.
for that reason,
Now the competition caution at lap 20 that we don't need because we raced here
on the
yesterday.
competition yellow. We'll see if anyone has a strategy play.
I doubt
I think
it.
there's an option to pit now, take your tires, and then stay out at lap 45. We saw old
That would be
tires
fucking
work
stupid though.
okay, not as good as new tires, but they held on okay. But it would be a gamble. I think the fastest.
Yeah, how come when you look at Indianapolis Motor Speedway from turn 3 and 4, the track looks so wide?
I always enjoy a nice gamble. But
Watching
I like
Indy
the
500
4 tires, too, so I
pre-race
like to put them
coverage.
on whenever they mean the most to me as a driver, and so saving it to the end of that stage would be my preference.
We've never heard a driver more conflicted than DJ between a wager or 4 tires right there. Pits will be open
Boy, this
for
race should have
round. We will
not
see
had a
if there are
competition
any
caution
markers
because it's
like
as if we raced here
that.
yesterday or
Stay out.
something.
That's what I would do. You got that clean
You know what I
in.
love the most about watching the Indy 500? It reminds me of old school NASCAR because there's no fucking stages. Ooh, they're talking to Dale Jr. on the Indy 500. Wow. Hold up, it's Junebug time.
For a minute. Now, we all had so much fun watching the race together, Dale. I'm curious, after being here...
They're on pit road in the
last
Xfinity race.
year,
They're talking to
what
Junior
from
at
that
Indy.
experience are you looking most forward to as you check out our race here this afternoon for a bit?
Well, it was just a great race. You know, we saw such an exciting race last year, some great strategy.
Because I don't care about this pointless competition
And,
caution.
so I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing
Brandon Jones pitted.
who tries to create something unique out of the strategy this year. But I still feel like, it's such a different.
He's looking
unique
for the
event
words.
because of the date change, because of the lack of fans being there. When I went there last year, my experience was so unique, genuine, and traditional, and so it's got to be extremely, I don't know, challenging, I guess, for the drivers to walk out on that grid and get in the car, really kind of buckle down and go win this race when it looks like no Indy 500 that they've ever experienced before. So, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for the drivers is who can sort of psych themselves up, because this is an important race. This is still the Indy 500. There's still an amazing trophy to win and a lot of experiences that come from winning this race. Who can go out there and really kind of build that up in their mind, because those fans are the major motivator, and they're not there today.
Dale, with you having a
Oh,
very
God, it's
famous
Dana
last name
Cunt.
and Marco having a very famous last name, of course I have to ask you about that.
And you having a vagina.
You're not Marco, so I don't want you to tell me what you think Marco's going through, but what would you be going through and what would you be thinking if you were in his position today?
I got a good race car. You qualified extremely well, but then you go into race trim and it's a whole different animal, a whole different setup. Do I have a car that can win this race? I think that's probably the next thing that pops into your mind, and we know that's been a challenge for him to find that speed or that comfort in race trim, and so I'm hoping for a great successful race. I went to the race last year, got to meet Marco and talk to him. We had been friends for years but never really met, so that was, the power of social media has kind of made us become friends before we actually saw each other face to face. But it was such a struggle last year for him in the race. I'm hoping he has a better experience today.
Xfinity race is back.
That's a great thing, but I know that he...
Sorry, Junebug.
Right of the V, and you cannot hit.
Talk faster next time, Junior.
Not only hits the box, but then leaves the evidence with the tire track.
Danica, I'll give Danica one thing, dude. In IndyCar, Danica was pretty good. She was good. Not great, not special, but Danica was good in IndyCar. I got to give her that. I'll never take away her talent behind the wheel of an open wheel car. NASCAR, fuck off. All right, Moffitt's still leader, but he didn't get a great restart. Chastain got a good restart on the bottom. But Moffitt's going to carry that momentum around the outside. He can't clear Chastain off of 2. I think Chastain's going to take the lead right here. We're 20 laps to go in stage 1 this time by. And Chastain's taking the lead. Well, Moffitt would still be leading if that competition caution didn't come out, but, what are you going to do? But Ross has the lead now. Herbst is third. Well, Allgaier's about to be third. Gregson passed Haley and Brandon Brown 3 wide through the middle behind Allgaier and Herbst. And Allgaier up to third. Woo! Justin Haley just put the bumper to Noah Gregson. Noah Gregson's getting bullied today. I love it. Justin Haley put the bumper to him a little bit. Got him out of shape. Cindric is not moving forward really much at all. Or he just picked the wrong lane on a restart. In 2 restarts we've had.
Have a big wiggle, have a big moment. The next set of corners, put it all back together again. Left side, you see the 8, Daniel Hemrick. Different driver than yesterday on the right, the 20, and Harrison Burton with that choose violation. Had to go to the back.
Any clue on where Bubba finished, Scott? I didn't even look at where Bubba. I think Bubba finished like 21st. Bubba didn't have a good day at all. Dover's definitely not his kind of track.
Make a mistake and you feel like you let your team down. Yeah, and Jeff, you were talking earlier about how new it is that you...
He finished outside the top 20 because I saw the field inversion and he's not starting up front. So he was around 21st or 23rd last time I'd looked. But I was too busy watching Hamlin and Truex fight for the win. And then I got off the stream really fast because I was tired yesterday.
This is the biggest question mark I had heading into today's race. How good was Chase Briscoe in the 98 going to be? We didn't get to see yesterday. An accident really took away his chances to win. He recovered for 10th, but was never quite the same. Here he is in a backup car, Dave. He's run the 22 of Cindric down side by side.
Yeah, Chase Briscoe in a backup car is passing Austin Cindric for 7th. He's working on him. 15 to go in stage 1.
Would you rather have the car you ran yesterday in one piece or a backup car starting in the back at this series with no laps on it and all the pieces not used for a day of the Monster Mile?
Well, I think my question would be, how did I run the day before? Because if I ran as well as the 22 of Cindric, I'd like to run the same car. I have an idea how it drives, what kind of adjustments I might make.
Cindric held off Briscoe for now.
Because of this right here, these two were racing. The 98 loses it really all on his own. Jeff spins around, and there's nowhere to hide here at Dover. Makes contact with the inside wall.
And Chase Briscoe, one of the reasons he's such a good race car driver is he loves to drive a car loose. Likes to back.
Yeah, Bubba has a real shot at a top 20 points finish. He's like 21st right now.
That's what happened to him yesterday.
He was 20th for most of the year. He's been 20th or 19th or so, right around in there. I think he's 21st in the standings right now.
This really shocked me. You see right there the season comparison, both with 5 wins. But keep this in mind. Chase Briscoe won.
But Christopher Bell has come on. So Christopher Bell had such a bad start to the year. He's 20th in points now. I saw yesterday for the first time this year when they showed the playoff bracket and they show 16th to 20th outside the, or 17th to 20th outside the playoffs. There was Bell's name instead of Bubba. So Bell has really come on strong lately, but it's too little, too late. He's going to have to win Daytona next week, which is a real possibility. You never know what the hell's going to happen.
Put themselves out there as they try to move their careers forward. Everybody's taking notice of what they do, and I'm sure that Chase Briscoe right there, as good as he's come up through the pack, when he got to that point with Cedric once again, it didn't take him long to realize that's how he got in trouble yesterday, and he didn't want to make that same mistake.
And DJ, you know the value of what a win can do for your season and just for your confidence. You get a good look there at Austin Cindric. Brian Wilson, his crew chief, mentioned to me that he said once we break through, watch out. That was his
I was in this race, but we hurry get this race over with so I can go watch Indy.
And it was kind of a matter of
I'll be right back.
until you win, you question the right decisions. You question whether or not what you're doing is going to put you in a position to win. Winning validates that what you've been doing the whole time is right. And so they felt like once they kind of got over the hurdle of winning, the dominoes have started to fall. And I think we've seen that as consistent as he's been the last 7 weeks.
I like that move right there from Briscoe.
Yeah.
You know, I think that move, instead of just going on the bottom and going with Briscoe, was, hey, man, you're winning all these races. I can't let that happen. I got to get some points. And jumped on the outside and put Austin in a tough situation. Hey, that's what the race is all about, right? He got by Austin. Now he's going to work trying to get by Haley.
It's hard to believe it was a year ago, Jeff, that you and I met with the crew chief.
Got a battle for second. Moffitt and Allgaier.
That's how it was going. And he
They
said,
got
you
3
know,
wide for 6. Chase Briscoe just passed Justin Haley and Austin Cindric at the same time, 3 wide.
He's asking for something in the race car, but
I think Briscoe's backup car is better than his primary.
set up ideas for me. Here we are a
Hopefully
year
keep
later,
this one in one piece.
Perhaps the favorites for the championship. That's a long way to come.
Cindric is really struggling right now.
And what's really impressive about that, too, is they were trying to use Cole Custer setups. And it wasn't working. So they found something that worked for him. And that's what you have to do. Not all drivers like the same thing. And they went to work and found something that works. Hey,
It's really cool that Moffitt's still running second. He's not going to finish second at the stage because Allgaier's going to get him here, but he's going to be top 3 most likely.
As he continues to dodge Moffitt for second here. The hot said it looks like it's a little slicker out there today. Or not as slick, I'm sorry. And Justin said, you know what? Surprisingly, even though it's warmer, I can really turn the
Allgaier to second.
today as he makes that pass. So what about it, guys? Stronger in the track, you think, over the weekend? Is that what's helping the turn of Allgaier?
I'm thinking it's overnight adjustments. I'm not sure the rubber makes it better.
That's where I was going, yeah. I mean, I think that you make adjustments and you adjust your driving style, too, a little bit with that. And you realize that yesterday, going up to the top side throughout that race, we didn't see that as much in this race. We saw it more in the cup races. The track really widened out, and I think that these drivers are finding that as a huge benefit for them here today.
Look at his numbers. And here at Dover, the last 6 finishes, his worst has been 3rd. Great confidence in how to set up his race car, great confidence to get through traffic, can move around, and I think that all shows as he's gained all the way up to second from the 15th starting position.
Not Riley Herbst, guys. He continues to improve.
Here's the part where they pretend that Riley Herbst shows any sign of improvement whatsoever.
And then this weekend, a really tough racetrack. Ran well yesterday. Didn't quite finish the way they thought they should have, but he's doing a
That team never finishes the way they think they should because Riley Herbst is a shit driver, but go on, DJ. Or Jeff Burton. God, they really do sound the same when you're not paying attention. They don't sound the same, but when you're not paying attention, they kind of sound the same.
About with the S&T data that these drivers can get, I would say I would be against that as a driver. I don't like the idea if they were back when you could test all the time. So, because I feel like that now these young drivers don't get a chance to test much, and now, especially when they don't get practice, it's an opportunity for them to see how can I be better without getting on the racetrack. And so I like the idea, especially in this series, that they can look at that and become a better driver quicker.
Saw Harrison Burton moving up.
Got one of them orange cream milkshakes from Arby's, boy.
Violation. You mentioned it, Jeff, trying to bail out your mistake, right? Make it back up to the team as we see the 8. They haven't talked a lot about the 8. Different driver, though. Yesterday was Jeff Burton. Today, that bright orange number 8, Daniel Hemrick. The 3rd doubleheader this year for Xfinity Series, and the 3rd time the 8 has had a different driver in race 2. Talk about adjustments overnight. A whole different driver. Final lap of the first stage at Dover. Ross Chastain in the 10 continues to lead about
Ross
2 seconds
Chastain.
over Justin Allgaier. You see Moose on the hood of that 10 car. A new sponsor to NASCAR, only its 3rd race right there. Interesting to see a college racing car without one of his own companies on it.
Cindric is
Chastain's
8th.
going to take it to a state series win. How about this? Burton has the most top 10s in the series. First playoff point for Ross Chastain all year.
We think alike. I was just going to say.
That is the first stage win of the season for Ross Chastain, but he leads the series in top 10 finishes this year.
Don't cheat off off my test now. Don't cheat off my test.
Yeah, but Brandon Brown in 10th. That helps him a lot in trying to make these playoffs.
With old school points, he would be a definite championship contender, which he may still be.
Ross Chastain, good run.
And during commercial to fill the dead air, here's some Indy 500 pre-race.
Angle. You're doing it for your godfather,
So I can
John,
eat my damn
who
milkshake.
sadly passed away this year. How much is that a driving force?
We knew what this place meant to him, you know, and our family, and
Boy, sports networks love talking about your dead
and we
relatives.
feel that. I mean, even on the last lap of the qualifying, I mean, that could have went either way when you lose or win by 66 inches over 10 miles. You know, he's a very close second to my grandfather Mario as far as passion just for the sport. And you know, guys like him and guys like Brian Hurd and guys that have just been there and know what I could do. It's just that's what you know, feels so nice to me.
Damn, this thing's so cold it's hurting my hand.
Finally, being an Andretti is
the biggest blessing in the world. I mean, you know, yes, there's the double-edged aspect of it, but it's not hard to be Marco Andretti. I'm a very blessed person. Result-wise, yes, I wish I could have won more races, but you take me away from the sport. I mean, it's you know, it's unbelievable. My wife, my family, my dogs. I'm a lucky person.
qualifying for the Indianapolis 500 is often considered the second biggest race of the year, even though it isn't a race. And Marco, as he's there messing around with Tony Kanaan, his good friend and old teammate, he feels like he's won the second biggest race of the year. Paul, what's your take on Marco's situation right now?
Well, he's got impossible shoes to fill with Mario and his dad. They won so much throughout their career.
I'm a big Tony Kanaan fan. I've always really liked Tony.
I've gotten to know Marco a lot better over the last couple of years, and I can tell you, he's been concerned about what people think on the outside. If he goes on vacation with some of his famous friends, he's not committed. But I tell you right now, he's kind of been stalled, but now he's found another gear, and I think he's going to take his career to the next level today.
I agree, Paul. You know, last Sunday, Marco's 4 laps in qualifying were absolute magic. He did it on
Look at everybody in the room wearing their mask like a responsible fucking human being.
himself, and it just...
So credit card of NASCAR, perfect for race fans.
Now back to reality.
Performance Products, the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication. DriveU.com and by McDonald's. Well, Jeff, we talked about it. First playoff point for Chastain. Allgaier up to second. Anything jump out so far in the first 45 laps for you two?
And Ross Chastain's speed. I think he made a little adjustment to their car yesterday, and he's going to be hard to beat today.
Looks really good. Pit road, small pit road here, Jeff. 29 cars on the lead lap.
Boy, doing 2 races in a row at the same track, 2 days in a row, they really run out of stuff to talk about if the race is not interesting. Oh man, that pit road.
That was big when I talked to the team yesterday about his situation. So they'll take on 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel here. Justin Allgaier, middle of the screen, different pit box for him today. And he talked about it before he came to pit road. These guys have to locate where they are and make sure they hit their marks, Dylan.
All the way down to pit stall number 2 at the end of pit road for Brett Moffitt on the bottom of your screen. Pretty happy with this race car as he pits from the 3rd spot. Major request is just more right side grip in the middle of the corner without unhooking the rear end. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, go down on the track bar, 4 tires and fuel for Moffitt.
Brandon Jones takes the lead off pit road with 2 tires. Brandon Jones pitted under the competition caution and got 4. So he pitted now, got 2, and stole a bunch of track position. He gained 14 spots. Everybody else took 2 or 4. Excuse me. Uncontrolled tire, Riley Herbst. Ha ha. Gee, Steve, how far out would I have to be? It's a small pit road. Of course, it's an uncontrolled tire. Unless Joe Gibbs wants to write a check right now.
The Austrian Grand Prix, that MotoGP race, it was crazy. If you didn't see the finish, you missed an exciting race.
Can Miller hold on? Oliveira, he's trying to find a way through onto the Spark-Euro as well. It's a last lap thriller from Thriller Miller. Can he
I feel like I'm watching a real-life GTA race. Look at this. Reach out and hit him. The temptation to reach out and punch the guy right on the back next to you would be too strong. Wow. That is an exciting finish. 3 wide out of the last corner.
Miguel Oliveira from Portugal. First ever win. How about that finish, guys?
Yeah, that's the way you get your first one. You'll never ever forget. You don't forget that first one to start with, but when you win like that, just incredible.
Can I just say that they're crazy? I mean, can you imagine?
I was thinking the same thing. They are fucking crazy for driving those things. I think that about open wheel drivers. Well, you guys are fucking nuts. Get one of these big 3,400-pound tanks we have to race.
All right, we showed it to you. The little bit of addition
Fuck
to
that
the
open
18. That is an
cockpit
uncontrolled
bullshit
tire.
or
It's
motorcycles.
so,
God.
You know, there's not a specific rule about
I don't wanna
RC
die.
anymore. You have to control your tires. They can't roll into other people's pit boxes. And that one on the 18 DJ, that rolled out to the first lane. There was no traffic, but there easily could have been.
Yeah, there's barely 2 lanes to have there.
Why are they acting surprised that was an uncontrolled tire? It was obviously an uncontrolled tire.
We talked about what a great job Riley was doing as a driver, but now he's going to have to come from the back.
Yeah, it's going to have to come from the back. We just saw his teammate, Harrison Burton, try to overcome a penalty. Another penalty for a NASCAR. For some more stories from Pit Road, let's check in with Jesse.
Thanks, guys. So Daniel Hemrick finished inside the top 10 at the end of this stage, and he told me this morning that it's been an adjustment, balancing the brakes in between each race because he's not racing full-time anymore. He's raced here quite a few times, so he does have experience, but I'm sure he's pretty ecstatic making his way into the top 10, especially starting in the rear. But he's even more excited about his newborn baby, Brandon Hemrick. His newborn really allowed him to separate the hectic racing life from home life. Every day he gets to go home and see her smiling face. So I'm pretty sure he's trying to bring her home a win today.
There's Fernando Alonso.
And Jesse, Brandon Jones has leapfrogged his way to the front of the field. He pitted on lap 22 at that competition yellow. Took left side tires, just took rights on this sequence through pit road. Yesterday they were working on trying to find some stability in that race car. They think they found it today, just a little bit free is the early report for Brandon Jones, but they'll have the track position to try and solve that problem, Dave.
Dylan, updating the Anthony Alfredo situation. The 21 car currently runs 12th, which is great after where he started, which was on pit road on the pace laps. They were working on the power steering. It came back to him as they continued the pace laps, but he had to go to the rear because they made that early
Doing
pit
driver
stop.
intros
He
in
apologized to the
Indianapolis.
crew. He said, man, if I'd have known that.
You know, they said there's no fans there, but I see a lot of fucking people in the pagoda.
It was a good thing for him to catch and take care of early.
That's a lot of people. Going green next time for Xfinity again. Stage 2.
You know, what I find interesting about this choose rule is what goes through each driver's mind as they determine what lane they want, right? So it's more than just counting cars, which lane has the shortest amount of cars, but what cars are in what lane, right? So as you're racing,
Brandon Jones, leader on the outside. Allgaier, Briscoe, Chastain, the front 2 rows. Followed by Cindric and Moffitt. Moffitt's still hanging tough.
I find fascinating.
Yeah, and how different is your car?
That competition caution kind of screwed Moffitt.
And where you want to be. So factoring a lot, too many decisions.
I'm waiting for him to stack up and knock the grill out of one. If I see a law, check it up before the choose rule. All right, guys, outside that bright yellow 19, Brandon Jones on fresh right side tires. The inside, the 7 of Justin Allgaier on 4 fresh tires.
Allgaier's he's in a great position to win again today.
Restarts at Dover to determine the race.
That can happen anywhere, Steve.
That's a really good jump by that 7 of Allgaier. Trying to clear Brandon Jones.
Good God, Allgaier cleared Jones for the lead on the inside. Well, Allgaier's checking out. See you later. They're 3 wide for second. Chastain sends it. Passes Briscoe and Brandon Jones for second. Wow. And Brandon Jones is dropping like a rock. Later, Brandon Jones had the lead for half a straightaway until they got to turn 1. Daniel Hemrick in the top 10 now.
You know, a lot of different people in this race car. I just think that's so difficult. And that eight car, just jumping in and out of the car. It's got to be a challenge to race against people that get into rhythm and run these cars every week.
Yeah, and certainly looking at the tracks, trying to get that because each one of these tracks, not like a basketball court.
Allgaier and Chastain and Briscoe, the top 3.
Every time you go on it, these are all different, so it takes a different style and a different feel for it. So
The 3 best cars today, for damn sure. Because something's that Cindric's off from yesterday. At least he has been so far.
Learning the different drivers' feedback, they're not in the cars consistently enough to kind of develop.
Although Cindric's fourth now, so I guess it's not that far off. Boy, Gregson just sent it in wide and damn near wrecked Brett Moffitt. They cut away from it, but Gregson drove into 3, got loose, went way up the racetrack, and took Moffitt with him. Why don't you show a replay of that? Chastain's on the bumper of Allgaier for the lead.
I'm really impressed with Ross Chastain right here. Hanging tight. You're right, Jeff. They made some adjustments to this. He did a really good job yesterday. Showed at Scent that he needed a little bit of speed. He told you that on the pace laps, and it looks like they found that.
Look at his eyes. I love watching these drivers. Look how intense he is. We know Ross Chastain brings everything he has, every single race, every single lap. Wants a win in the worst way. This year hadn't gone the way he expected it to go, I think.
Hasn't been everything that he has wanted, but this organization and this race team has made a lot of gains. I mean, now they're putting 2 cars out there every week, sometimes 3 cars when AJ runs, and you can just see the improvement. And they're becoming one of those teams that you watch. They've got a good lineup of drivers. They're giving good information. They've got really good leadership in the organization.
Gonna have a 4-car battle for the lead now, because Cindric's catching these guys. Jeff Burton gritting his teeth as Anthony Alfredo moves his son out of the way. But like Jeff said, didn't really touch him. Just really got close, packed air on him. 30 to go in stage 2. Let's switch to Indy 500. Oh, God. What's that music? They're doing driver intros at Indy. That's that shitty music you're hearing. My boy, Rossi. I love Rossi. Rossi, Will Power, Tony Kanaan. I like all 3 of those guys. Old Bob Jenkins on the PA there. God, what is with that music? I guess they do that shit in IndyCar as well, don't they? It's gonna get me fucking demonetized. Well, not demonetized, but it's gonna be claimed. Way to go, IndyCar. Too late now. I already listened to like 30 seconds of that audio. Can't wait till I get a copyright claim tomorrow. For fucking generic shit dance music. It's been claimed by Warner Music Group on YouTube. Oh, what a bummer. Still Allgaier, Chastain, and Briscoe, and Cindric. Can they play royalty-free music during the IndyCar driver intros? Oh, got a car in the wall. Jeffrey Earnhardt, caution's out. Had a few more cautions today already. There's row 1. Marco Andretti, Scott Dixon, and Takuma Sato. Takuma Sato's a driving son of a bitch. Damn. They have another 28 minutes till the command to start engines at Indianapolis. The Xfinity race will be about half over.
Under yellow here at Dover, you saw it in nonstop. Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 0 up into the wall. You're hearing there might be a little contact there, guys.
You can see Riley Herbst on the bottom of the racetrack.
Fucking Riley Herbst just drove in and wrecked Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Looked like he got loose, but he entered the corner really high also.
Yeah, it looked like he was still trying to arc it in. Makes it a little more difficult to arc in whenever you got a car out there on your right rear quarter panel. lot of contact there.
I got to see Jeffrey Earnhardt drive that 18 car at Charlotte last year, and he drove it better than Riley Herbst ever fucking has, for the record.
Coming back through traffic, currently in the 25th position.
Jeffrey Earnhardt got spun out several times, still finished like 7th.
You know, you have to learn as a young driver to put those things behind you. It's no fun having to go to the back, especially when you have a good car, you're running well, but you just have to put that behind you. Mistakes are going to be made by everybody, and you know they don't jump all over you when you make mistakes, so you've got to put that behind you too.
Yeah, patience, isn't that what you said earlier? Patience.
Yeah.
Right back to commercial. I literally have no pick to win Indy. Cup race, I'll say Chase Elliott. I really liked how Chase's car looked yesterday. He had a better car than Hamlin. Hamlin had track position all day, though. Chase spent half the race trying to get his track position back. So I like Chase to win today. And I hope Jimmy Johnson gets a top 5. Or if Chase doesn't win, please win, Jimmy. Come on. Boy, Daytona's going to be wild next Saturday. I'm assuming it's next Saturday. Yeah, it's always fucking night race. Duh. Here's some Indy 500 pre-race. Because they stopped playing shitty dance music. Rick Mears.
Did you ever think it would lead to this? Well, I sure didn't, but I'm sure glad it did.
I kind of grew into this place. We followed Indy.
Remember that time Casey Mears won at Charlotte?
79 winning that was only in our second attempt, and I didn't understand what it meant to win Indy.
Rick Mears, he's won the Indianapolis 500 with a hand in the air. Rick Mears has won his third Indianapolis 500.
It is the Super Bowl.
Well, you think NASCAR looked unsafe back then? Hell, IndyCar looks unsafe now.
Rick Mears becomes the third four-time winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indy's most exclusive club, the four-time champs, joined it in '91, and he joined A.J. Foyt, Al Unser Sr. Rick is here today. He's trying to help usher in a fourth member to the four-win club, because Rick Mears is spotting for Helio Castroneves, who today...
Helio's back.
For win number 4. Remember 2001? Helio climbed the fence. He was the last one to win the Indy 500 back-to-back. It was so nice he did it twice.
Oh, well. We'll worry about that later.
Leader of 23 laps already today, Ross Chastain needs his 10 car to rotate in the corner just a little bit earlier, and he feels like that will be what he needs to get by the 7. But think about changing what they needed overnight. They made some good improvements on that 10 car. We saw speed yesterday, but Dylan, they really dialed something into it today to make Ross a potential race winner.
And Dave, for Austin Cindric, connecting the corner better has been Ian Crew Chief Brian Wilson's mission this afternoon. The latest report from inside the cockpit is free in the center, tight finishing the corner. He can't stay on the throttle once he gets back to it. So we saw that cause some issues early on in the cup race yesterday. Guys, it's so important here, isn't it, to once you get back in the throttle, just stay in it all the way off the corner, because otherwise things get bottled up behind you.
Yeah, it is. The report, the Ross Chastain report, where he said he wanted to
Allgaier, Chastain, Cindric, Briscoe, Moffitt, and Brandon. Damn, Brett Moffitt's still running up front.
Turns, car that's pointed, then you can go to the gas. And the better it's pointed, the better the rear grip is. If that makes any sense, where you're not to turn the wheel, it really makes a huge difference. So these corners last forever, DJ. Yeah, just getting the thing to turn is so important.
It's like your love, DJ. It lasts forever.
Good lap or possibly a good pass.
Great restart there for Allgaier and Chastain. Chastain's door-to-door with Allgaier. But, Allgaier barely cleared him off of 2. Thought they were going to make contact. With Chastain, I wouldn't have been surprised. At least with Chastain, you know it's not on purpose. He just overdrives the shit out of everything.
Really all year long, I'd say.
20 to go in stage 2. Briscoe around the outside of Chastain for second. Cindric to the inside of Chastain for third. Briscoe's going for the lead. Hell yeah, Briscoe around the outside of Allgaier. Oh, he's going to get it. Oh, yeah. Wow, Briscoe's so good today. Briscoe led that lap.
Nothing about it. Really, I think Chase the first one to really jump up that high on the outside and make it work.
Dave, you got to applaud the effort for this 98 team. Remember, that's a backup car.
And Steve, part of it is this driver now understanding this tire. Remember, it's a different combination for these teams this weekend. And yesterday, when Chase spun, driving underneath another car, you have to remember that this driver, a former dirt driver, likes driving it off the right rear tire. He said to his crew chief afterwards, I think there's less forgiveness in this tire than there was in the old combination. So he learned something yesterday. Look how he powered the 98 around to take the lead.
It's been well documented as you see the battle between Cindric and Gregson. And Chase Briscoe, and what did he say? I think I need to win 8 races. No idea how he came up with that number, but 8 races was the magic number for him. We talked to him this week, and DJ, he said that, you know, they were working on trying to build some adjustability in their race cars.
If you win 8 races, you're definitely going to the championship race.
They haven't been so good the last 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know what kind of adjustability they had in their backup car, but whatever it is, it's working so far.
Yeah, and you know, they have the luxury of doing that.
Must be nice to get switched to a backup car.
He's going to get those 8 wins pretty easy.
Nah.
Austin Cindric decided
Who knew that car would be so much better?
Winning some races. And I think that's added a little bit of pressure to them to kind of go back now. Hopefully they learn some things because you're going to need that when you get into the playoffs. You have to do better.
One thing we don't know also is that Chase Briscoe, we saw him spin out yesterday in wreck.
Yeah, Anthony Alfredo's 10th. If he's having power steering trouble, he's doing pretty well with it.
So if you're Justin Allgaier on that team, you won that race yesterday. How much are you going to change? Probably not that much. But you didn't know that you were going to have to be that much better compared to this 98 car. So now Allgaier and his team, they know they got to find a way to find some speed. Dave.
I was impressed with that pass for the lead. You were impressed with that pass for the lead. Here's what Justin Allgaier thought.
He just got loaded up the straightaway found traffic.
And he had I don't know how he did that. Justin Allgaier was saw the 98 go by, and he's like, all right, we need some of that.
Yeah, well, you can have motor, but if you can't get to the throttle, it doesn't make any difference how much horsepower and how much.
I think every Chevrolet driver says that now when they get passed by a Ford or a Toyota. Damn, we need some of that.
Doesn't matter if you're on the bottom or in the middle. As a matter of fact, it's more important if you're in that middle.
Brandon Brown about wiped out off of 4.
Don't think they're going to change Brandon Brown's steering column when he gets home. I mean, he has turned that thing to the right. He has been, although not in the front.
In all seriousness, I like Danica's new hair. Danica's got a new haircut, guys. If you're watching Indy 500 coverage, you see it. She looks very lovely today. Just keep her out of a damn race car. Briscoe, Allgaier, Chastain. All right.
Let's go back to the guys calling the race or something on those young men.
I'm so glad I have something to fill the dead air today.
That's a good question, Mike. And you know, there's
Excuse me.
5 rookies. Keep in mind that this is the second fastest qualifying speed in the history of the Indianapolis 500. Speeds not seen in more than 2 decades. They are flying. And Paul, these youngsters are going to face a steep learning curve today, barreling down this front straight into turn 1. I know you remember your first Indianapolis 500. Which young driver do you like the look of? Who are you going to be paying attention to?
Well, Rinus VeeKay got off to a really rocky start in Indy cars with 2 crashes on an oval, but he has looked phenomenal this week. He's coached and mentored by Arie Luyendyk Sr., and some would say he's got by far the fastest Chevy in the field. He might have the fastest car in the field right now.
Well, there you see Paul Rinus VeeKay talking with the guy that I'd pick for a rookie to win this race, Alex Palou. Remarkable story. The only driver in this field that has no previous experience here at Indianapolis. He's taken to the track like a duck to water. He's rolling off 7th today. I just spoke to him a few minutes ago. He's incredibly confident. I said, describe your feeling.
Oh, yeah, dude, you're not wrong.
Had our award from
You know, I found Danica really unattractive when she was pissing me off during the NASCAR races every week, but now she ain't been racing. I'm like, yeah, she looks good. She always looked good. Now, come on, she's no Milka Dunno in that department, but nobody is. Milka Dunno was kind of hot, but Jesus, she sucked way worse. Danica was actually good in IndyCar. If Danica was good at her job, that might have bumped her up to a 9 out of 10 if she was good at her job. That's the thing. I like Natalie Decker and Hailie Deegan are really hot, but at least Hailie Deegan's good. Can't say the same for Natalie Decker, though. Man, they're both hot, though, ain't they? This is the part of the show where we objectify women. Still Briscoe and Allgaier out front. Briscoe's checking out, though. 6 to go in stage 2. Yeah, with that new hair, Danica can get some, yeah. I don't know. I don't want Aaron Rodgers leftovers because I don't like Aaron Rodgers.
This is NASCAR Xfinity Series Drive Team 200 from Dover International Speedway.
5 to go in stage 2. Did I say stage 1 a minute ago?
Briscoe
Stage 2.
Backup car all the way up to the lead.
Natalie can definitely get it. Yes. She is very easy on the eyes. Just keep her out of a damn race car, for the love of God.
Good job of being patient and getting himself back in the race.
Hailie Deegan, keep her in the race car, and she still looks good.
Here, and so you can make some more adjustment. But he didn't press and make a mistake in trying to come back up through the back, but back inside the top 10, doing well here.
Yeah, just, you're still racing for points, right? He's in the playoffs. Hailie is in the playoffs.
Why isn't there a NASCAR women's division? I'm sure that'll be coming in a few years.
Make a difference in how many playoff points you end up with going into these playoffs, and these two race each other hard.
Equal rights, but give them their own division. Are you saying they're not good enough to race with the men? Then, oh, wow. Harrison Burton cleared Justin Haley, and Haley didn't like it. He plowed into the back of him. I was convinced that Harrison was going around there. As hard as Haley hit Harrison Burton, I was pretty sure he was going to spin, but no, he didn't. Go look at Natalie Decker's Instagram story. It's not hard to see how she's got a ride. Look at this. And that was Haley getting back in the gas and running into the back of Harrison Burton. Well, Justin Haley's been a little bit of a dickhead lately, hasn't he?
Really has no choice but to get into the back of him. That's just.
I don't remember Justin Haley driving like this.
Yeah, it is. Harrison had every intention of staying in the throttle until he saw that he was
wanting to go into stage.
Hit the wall. And so you have to.
I don't like it's going to be Briscoe winning stage 2.
Be ready to adapt to that. And fortunately for both of them, really no harm done.
Yeah, and I don't think Haley can sit around there hard throttle waiting for a guy. If he did that all day long, he wouldn't go anywhere.
Exactly right.
Well, last and first. It took 2 stages, but Chase Briscoe in this.
Yeah, Briscoe wins stage 2.
Allgaier
right there with him, though, at the line.
Allgaier second. Chastain third. Cindric Gregson. That is a stacked top 5 right there, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You take a backup car, start at the back, and these guys that were good yesterday made a little adjustment to their car. So
doing the national anthem and prayer. Well, they're doing the prayer right now at Indianapolis.
5 wins on the season. Can he make it 6?
Looks like he's well on his way. Come on, you knew Allgaier wasn't going to win 2 days in a row. He may still win.
You have shown us your loving kindness. In these last few months, we have experienced many disruptions, and we have a renewed vision of our brokenness. But we know with you at our side, that's not the end of our story, not the finish of the race for us. God of unity and new beginnings, bless us, our city, and our world, with a peace and a unity that gives you glory. Help us to lift up the downtrodden and oppressed, and by your grace lead us to a better tomorrow. Send down your blessing too upon these.
Jesus' life mattered.
The officials and fans on this 104th running of the Indianapolis.
Don't you know? Jesus' life mattered.
In your care. May those with us in person here today, along with all those who cannot be here, be united in joy over the many gifts you give us.
Praise Allah.
Our faith, our brothers and sisters in the human family, and this, the greatest spectacle in racing. May God bless us all. May God bless America.
Are they going to do it? Oh, wait, it's not Memorial Day. Look, even the Army dudes are wearing the face mask. I'm ready for some dumb redneck to say he won't support the Army no more because they were wearing masks on the Indy 500 broadcast. Selling out. Can't believe this mask thing has to... We live in a weird time. Why did some bullshit like this have to happen during my life? Why did this have to happen when I'm alive? It's fucking lame.
Communications, enhanced telemetry, and ad-free experience. Search NASCAR in your app store or visit NASCAR.com/mobile. Big fan of the NASCAR app. That's how I do my fantasy lineup each week. All right, stage 2 complete. Pits are open. Important adjustments here. We expect one more pit stop in that final stage, Dave, but we're going to have to make good adjustments here midway through the race.
We heard what Ross Chastain wanted earlier to rotate that car, and he'll hit pit box first. He's the first pit box in. So he'll have to navigate all the cars leaving pit road. That'll be very interesting to watch the 10. He'll get 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel. The 98 of Chase Briscoe about halfway down. His car right now
Cherry, Pepsi Zero Sugar.
So far. And Justin Allgaier, the entry is still looking free, and he's still tight across the center of the corner. Remember, last time down pit road, Allgaier's team was able to gain him a spot on pit road, having lost.
Boy, Briscoe's pit stop was a second and a half faster than Chastain's. Horrible stop for Allgaier. That was 17 seconds. Well, it's safe to say Briscoe will be the leader. Damn, Cindric Cole. Whoa. Hemrick and Brandon Jones, I thought they were going to hook into each other. Briscoe's the leader. Cindric second. Chastain third. Allgaier dropped all the way to 8th. Bad pit stop.
Allgaier, 6 spots lost.
A little bit of contact. We're going from on the 8th, but I don't think much.
See if that damage causing the issues for that tape.
Oh, there's this dude singing his ass off at the Indy 500. Hold on. Singing his ass off. But I hate that song. That's not very American of me. Wow, you know, I didn't notice it until I just saw Eric Estep's tweet. There's no play-by-play commentator in this race, just Letarte, Burton, and DJ. I didn't even notice Rick Allen was gone. I mean, he'll be doing the Cup race later, but damn. Didn't even notice. Now, what about Brad Daugherty?
Jimmy's car up there in the monster. All right, so we saw the 7 had a little trouble on the pit stop. Let's listen in.
Oh, sorry about that. That was on us here behind the wall. We got to grab this. All good, man. We'll make it through this. We got a long way to go still.
All right, so let's take a look at this 7th pit stop. You heard it was a behind-the-wall issue. Jason Burdett telling the driver it's on us. Clean on the right side. Pit crew does its job. Watch this right front tire as it gets rolled. It goes out of the screen. You assume everything's good, but then watch. Back into the screen, the tire comes. The tire carrier does a great job of seeing it. Now, if I was Jason Burdett, I would raise a little bit of concern. The tire never left my pit box, so while it was a bad pit stop, I would be arguing the uncontrolled tire. Not that it would do any good, but DJ, you know Jason very well. Worked with you for years on your Cup team. He doesn't have really an arguing personality.
No, he doesn't have that, and you tell me how many times you ever won one of those, so that's kind of why you don't. But, yeah, I agree. Did it get away there? But it never left the pit box, so... but,
You wouldn't be surprised there's a women's division.
We talked about this being a team sport. Justin said he was fine with it. That's because he got a win.
There'd be some comedy gold if that was a thing.
He knows there's still time.
It's amazing how a win can change your
I ought to call it the real idiots of NASCAR.
It's all good. We got it.
So Briscoe's the leader, and okay.
Look at his little fake there.
Briscoe was acting like he was going to pick the inside. Nobody was going to fall for that.
I have to say the last two restarts, I've watched Harrison, and he's missed that cone by like 6 feet both times after that penalty that he got. Quick learn.
So NASCAR has cleared it up. I guess they heard that I was going to argue it.
So they're making Allgaier start at the back.
Listen, once the tire goes from the right half back to the left half, it kind of has to stay on the left half. It can't just on its own go back to the outside. So if that's how they're going to enforce it, then I'm okay with it. And to answer your question, DJ, I'm over.
So it was an uncontrolled tire on Allgaier.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Let's listen to Justin Haley. They were talking about the choose code.
It's too late. We gotta figure it out. It just happened so quickly.
And I don't know what the answer is either. I'm so frustrated and confused by it because I'm so bad with numbers that like it's got me legit pissed off right now.
Yes, that's actually video communication from earlier in the race, but it shows you how the teams are confused and trying to work it out amongst themselves. I think you just gotta put it in the driver's hands. Quit counting, quit making it difficult. Just say, all right, driver, pick the lane you want.
Briscoe, Cindric, Hemrick, Chastain, stage 3. I don't think anybody has anything for Briscoe now that Allgaier's out of the picture, but we'll see. Allgaier is back to his normal self after winning yesterday. Everything's back to normal.
Chastain is cleared. 22 of Austin Cindric. Now this battle back here. Harrison trying to get by Daniel Hemrick.
Got a tire rub on Daniel Hemrick on the left rear. That might come apart. Yeah, that's a pretty significant rub in the corner.
Between the 19 of Brandon Jones and the left rear 8. We were concerned about the right front fender on the 19. It seems like
Yeah, they did touch on pit road. That's what that is from.
While this run goes, I think the more advantage perhaps for that 8 car. You see right
Halfway through the race, this time by, and Indy's about to start. Cars are not even rolling yet at Indy, but we're halfway through the Xfinity race.
Jumped in a little bit. I'm saying that I thought that inside would prevail. If you're going to jump, make the pass on the outside, you need to do it really early in the run or very late in a run. Daniel Hemrick getting that position.
Yesterday during the race, we heard Jesse talk about the G-forces that these drivers have to take. He equated it to a fighter pilot. Well, if you ever want to know where the G-forces are the highest, just watch that 8 car where the tire rubs. It doesn't rub on the straightaway because as you go straight down the straightaway, the car isn't pushed into the banking. As you watch it go through the corner, it will smoke probably right when it lands, right here. It won't smoke as much through the middle. And then that second compression right here, DJ, is going to smoke again. That's basically Dover, right? That's the loading of Dover.
Yeah, it really is. And Jeff was giving a good description before the race of talking about how these cars fall off into the corner and everything. If you were a driver and you didn't put your seatbelt on, which you would never do, but if you drive down into the corner, you feel like that you were going to hit the roof. And that's what it would do to you. And then you were going to go, as you get to the middle of the corner, you're going to go down through the floorboard of the car, and then you raise up once again to the corner. A lot happening around this racetrack.
Look at that 19 car. You can see the 1 car, Michael Annette, making a move. Look at the right front damage. Brandon Jones, that fender is knocked in a lot, guys.
Who cares? It's Brandon Jones.
Now, if you're loose on corner entry, you might like that, but when
hard to get their track position, especially at the end of, they're close to the end of stage 1 when they pitted. Just took 2 tires and then got the right sides at the end of that stage. And pretty good, but that's a lot of damage, and for a racetrack that you need every bit of the downforce on the front end that you can get is important.
The other thing about that damage is that now, Steve, the next adjustment that you make on the car is very difficult because Brandon Jones is dealing with an issue right now that he won't be dealing with when that fender gets pulled out. So what change do you make? So that puts these guys really a change behind, and really with only one more set of tires left, and potentially only one more pit stop left, that's going to make the rest of their day very difficult.
You mentioned it, only one more set of tires left.
How's Allgaier doing after his penalty?
So difficult for the set of Allgaier. Doing a nice job all the way up to the 15th position.
He's up to 15th. Yeah, that's pretty good.
We talked about the strength of this 7 was traffic. Now we were talking about leading the race, working through that traffic. Well, he's using that same skill set here as he tries to recover from that issue.
Yeah, doing a nice job. And this is a lot of fun when you have a good race car to be able to do this. You don't
Is it though? Is it really that much fun?
got a good car.
Passing guys you don't think you should have to pass.
The day before, it's kind of fun to have something a little bit different, and you can see Justin Allgaier taking this car and putting it really wherever he needs to make his way back through.
Yeah, I think that win yesterday is huge. We talked about it before, but think about what Justin Allgaier has been talking about for the last several months, is that nothing seems to happen right. Everything seems to go wrong. Right? Well, yesterday it did. Everything went right. And he got that win. So today, when it...
I'm really glad after this week the rest of the schedule is back to normal because it's been pretty hectic since NASCAR came back. I feel like I finish a stream and then I turn around and I'm streaming another race. So for the rest of the year, it'll be nice being on a normal racing schedule, barring disaster.
Oh, yeah, most definitely for sure. So, yeah, these drivers are going through an immense amount of G-forces at this track. 24 degrees of banking in the corners, 9 on the straight. That's a lot more than a lot of the tracks they go to. When I talked to my F-18 pilot friends, they told me, hey, when we're launching off we're experiencing about 4 Gs. These drivers today are experiencing over half of that amount.
You know, when racing first came back, I was like, fuck yeah, 8 races a week or whatever the fuck it was. They felt like 8 races a week. Now I'm just like, God damn, can I get a break? I want to relax. Plus, football's coming around. Cars are about to roll at Indy. I think they just fired the engines.
Mental focus is easy when you're sitting in an office or sitting here watching it on TV, but you know, under those loads, drivers, I've actually heard other people tell me they have to work on their breathing. Jimmy Johnson told me that until he started wearing some of his devices that measure his heart rate, he was actually holding his breath in the corners at Dover, just perhaps because of the load.
Well, I think that also explains why all the gray hair over here. You know, to me, PJ, at Dover, as you drive in the corner right here, it always to me felt like it was trying to drive me through the seat, like you talked about earlier, through the seat.
That's one of my favorite cameras. Any camera in a car that has me looking out the front windshield, I love it.
Yeah, I always found you would think that because of all of that it would really make your neck sore. I found that my core was more sore after a race there, between the bouncing up and down on the concrete and just sitting you down. And so as you go through the race, you're trying to stay upright in your seat and focus on what you're doing. I found that I had to work harder on my core to make sure that I was able to withstand 400 and 500 mile races. I go back a long way, Jeff. They were 500 mile races there. 500 miles. Not as many issues.
Briscoe leads.
Oh yes, now we have very few 500 mile. Although I'd be okay with a couple less. Like I don't think Texas needs to be 500 miles. Texas could be like 300 or 350, and that'd be enough.
Oh, that is a memorable voice. That's Chris Rice. Who's I think Team Preston in college racing, but has a lot of
85 laps to go.
But excited at what he's doing. I tell you, Chris Rice has done a nice job of that organization, moving it forward from kind of a startup.
Briscoe, Chastain, Cindric, Daniel Hemrick 4th, Harrison Burton 5th. And they're rolling in Indy. You guys like to tell me, what should I pay more attention? I guess it really depends on what race is more interesting at the moment. And Indy's about to start. The Xfinity race is kind of strung out. Looks like it's going to be a long green run here for the Xfinity race. But Indy's about to start.
Mike, thanks so much. What a lead-in, what a build-up to this 104th running.
Excuse me.
And for you folks, look to the bottom of your screens there. You see the Honda two-seater. It's affectionately known as the fastest seat in sport, and it typically and traditionally leads the field ahead of the pace car to the green. Well, this is an historic treat. If you haven't heard about it, inside that Honda two-seater is legend Mario Andretti. There he is. That's not unusual. This is Mario's passion. Even in his early 80s, he still loves driving this. And he does it for many. He's done it for thousands over the years. But in the back of it is his 1991 IndyCar championship-winning son, Michael, who has had success here, not as a driver, but as a team owner. Michael's won this race 5 times.
So Michael Andretti has to ride bitch to Mario in the two-seater? Okay. Don't have a heart attack, old man.
It's Marco. So 3 Andrettis on the track at the one time. That's not unusual here as far as the Andretti history is concerned, but for Mario, Michael, and Marco, it most certainly is. And 60 Indy 500 starts across the 3 generations. Fantastic. I mentioned Mark Royce, the president of General Motors. Mark is behind the wheel. There he is right there of the brand new Corvette Stingray to lead this field to green. And for more information on this beautiful car, you can go to Chevy.com. You've got the president right behind the wheel. An exciting time for him as well, especially to be wedged in between the generations of Andretti.
There you go, got the Indy 500 leaderboard up now.
Take a look at the Firestone starting grid for this year's Indy 500, and it certainly is.
Nothing much going on in the Xfinity race right now.
It was so tight, the difference between himself and
Got Allgaier's back up to 11th, though.
2017 winner of this race. Townsend starts on the front row.
If Allgaier gets some cautions, he might not be done yet, but I don't know if he has anything for Briscoe.
But Scott Dixon in that orange and blue car will be a force today. He's put himself in all kinds of uncomfortable positions in practice. That'll be really important. Uncomfortable all day in traffic. Looking down the row 3 there, Alexander Rossi starting outside. That's a huge benefit here at Indy because going wide and going high early is your best chance to make some moves. All as we walk our way through.
Next Friday, Xfinity at Daytona. Get hot. Man, I want to get iRacing and run an Indy car at Daytona. Go 280 or something.
Did a great job. So much muscle there in row 8 and 9. Tony Kanaan, his 19th.
Briscoe has about a second and a half on Chastain right now. Boy, it's nice to get a break from the NBC guys. That's because I never really pay attention to the IndyCar live broadcasts, so I'm hearing fresh voices.
That historic 4th victory. We're pleased to say that we've got 14 onboard cameras.
According to Marissa Briscoe, Chase said before the race he was definitely going to win today. Well, he looks like he's on his way. And he's making it easy to pay attention to Indianapolis right now.
How about one of 5 rookies? Not a rookie to the series, but a rookie to Indianapolis. He failed to qualify last year. That's Pato Award with thanks to Arrow Electronics.
One of my favorite things about the Indy 500 is how fucking fast it is. A 500-mile cup race takes forever and ever. The Indy 500 is just like, shoom, it's over.
The veteran, the 5-time champion, and one of the overwhelming favorites, Scott Dixon, with thanks to Honda.
They lead when I sat down with Scott Dixon yesterday.
Oh my God, Marty Snyder.
Pace in 2020 for us for the Indy 500. He said, honestly, coming into the race the last few years, I knew we didn't have a car that was fast enough or the drivability to win the race. Today, I have all of that. Scott Dixon might have the best car he's ever had for an Indy 500 lead.
And how about his teammate Felix Rosenquist, second-year starter here at the 500 with thanks to NTT Data. He'll give us some good views today, and so too will Graham Rahal in the...
There's going to be very little overlap with the Indy 500 and the Cup races. You know, the Cup race, the green flag won't fly till like 4:20, and it's 2:30 right now at Indy. Well, 1:30 there, 2:30 on the East, whatever, you know what I mean.
lead. Simon Pagenaud starts 25th. In the last 83 years, there's only been one driver starting this far back that's won the 500. But Simon told me if the balance is there, and it is, I could win the 500 for a second straight year. We look forward to that. With thanks to Gamebridge, Zach Veach will give us.
Last year I watched the Indy 500 on my phone on the way to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Boy, things have really changed. Actually, I watched most of it at home, and then when we headed out to Charlotte, I had to watch the last bunch of the race on my phone.
Well, there's never been one like this before.
Well, they're going green this time.
With no fans, but it is and always will be the greatest spectacle in racing. This is the Indianapolis 500. And there is a 33-year-old Andretti leading the field of 33.
He ain't going to have the lead long if Dixon has his way. God, Dixon immediately shot to the outside of Andretti, and he takes the lead. Well, and Andretti led the Indy 500 for about 20 feet, if that much. Dixon is here to crush your hopes and your dreams. Pretty clean start. Better be clean. I'd hate to hit the wall on one of these things. Sato up to second. Boy, I wanted to believe the Andretti hop. How could you not want to believe it? And Dixon's checking out. So it's like every other fucking IndyCar race. Scott Dixon's going to lead every lap. Well, these guys are calling the second lap like it's the last lap. You know, as a casual IndyCar fan who does not watch every week, it is so hard to distinguish the cars. Like, which guy's that? Like, I can tell Dixon and Rossi and Ryan Hunter-Ray. Everybody else, it's like, I can't tell what car's which. Hell, and I can tell Marco's car because I've seen it a lot this week. Ed Carpenter's on pit road.
Trouble for the local guy, Ed Carpenter, early. He's really upset with Zach Veach. He says the Veach put him into the wall early, and it sounds like they might have to make a front wing change as they assess the damage. But trouble early for Ed Carpenter.
Well, that sucks. They're only on lap 3. They got to replay what happened. Yeah, he kind of, wow, he got blocked into the wall. Yeah, he's right. He has reason to be pretty pissed off about that.
So you can hear Ed Carpenter say he had to have known I was there. Perhaps information from the spotter for Veach, but tough to say. It's so hard to try to stick your nose into that.
Boy, it's hard watching 2 races at the same time.
Right here out of the beginning, you can tell the urgency, the anxiety to try to make something happen on the start because it's very.
Like I said, the most recognizable cars are Dixon, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Marco, and Alexander Rossi. I say that as a casual IndyCar fan. Ryan Hunter-Ray going for second. Well, these announcers are hot, buddy. And I like the IndyCar leaderboard on their website way better than the NASCAR. The NASCAR leaderboard sucks. Literally nothing going on in the Xfinity race. Briscoe's got about a 2-second lead over Ross Chastain with 63 laps to go. Andretti settled into 4th. Five laps in. Caution's out. We got a smoker.
Right front. Yeah, he's hit the wall. Looks like the brake is on fire.
It could be a break for Ed Carpenter, James Davison.
I've never seen anything like
well, he's got enough time to make it to Dover to run the Cup race. Just kidding. Forgot that James Davison was in this.
Rick Ware.
Yeah, I thought that 51 looked familiar.
Never seen. I don't know lights
Wow.
stop. Well, if he
Stop the car, dumbass.
can figure out how to get
It's
that
on
light
fire.
Sure, oh, now the whole car's going to light up.
James Davison. Oh my God! Get the fuck out of the car, you idiot! He drove around on fire. Now the whole damn car's lighting up. Well, we're 6 laps in to Indy.
Magnesium wheels, you can see the. Doesn't look like Townsend brushed the wall because there's no mark on the outside, and that wheel looks as though it just broke apart.
Something done broke.
Magnesium, and you've got to crack check these wheels.
Magnesium, that's a big word. You won't hear that on a NASCAR broadcast.
And then that magnesium will catch fire.
Yo, before that car caught on fire, that looks really cool. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like it's locked on, but you would think
He's got glowing rims. Oh shit, it's actually on fire.
Skid the tire, but well, I have never seen anything like that. Maybe something stuck in there generated so much rotor temperature. Oh, and then
Ah, and then it just burst.
The wheel, so something horribly
Yeah. NASCAR would have kept the race green until all the guys drove through all that debris.
complete shock, like what in the world just happened?
He has been on a wild ride lately, mixing IndyCar with NASCAR Cup Series.
Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier's passing Brett Moffitt for 9th in the Xfinity race. I just think Allgaier's not going to get the cautions he needs, and he's going to run out of laps and not have a chance to win this thing. So it's Briscoe's race.
Nothing quite like that. Crazy scenes. And the first yellow. Great to see the AMR safety team there on the.
Well, James Davison's okay. He didn't roast alive. Now, back to the Xfinity race while they're in commercial.
Keep in mind, not only does he have a couple of RK East wins here, raced in the Truck Series race on Friday, utilized that high line that he's running as well to much success.
Indy is in commercial, so we're back on the Xfinity deal.
Having a good day so far, Dave. Nice run back through.
Daniel Hemrick having a top 5 run. You'll love to see it.
By the way, that was based on the choose rule.
God, Allgaier's having a hard time. God, Moffitt is having such a good race. Moffitt has missed the lowest he's been all day. He's 9th, about to be 10th right now. So you got to hand it to Moffitt. Oh, come on, don't go to commercial now. I can actually watch you because Indy's on commercial. Oh, whatever, NBC. Boy, having 2 TVs is nice. This is a luxury right here. I'll have to do this every Sunday while football's on. Well, except the first 3 races of the NASCAR playoffs are what? Darlington, Bristol, Richmond, or something. So they're like all 3. Like Darlington's the week before NFL, and then there's 2 night races. So on week 4 or week 3 or 4 of the NFL, I'm gonna have to have 2 TVs in here. Well, James Davison's IndyCar deal looks just like his Cup car deal does every week. Well, no, I gotta give him credit. He hasn't tore up anything in Cup. That car being loaded on the truck could probably still outrun the 51 Cup car right now. Which is pretty sad. Don't you miss the old days of race back to the yellow? That could have been a disaster there. Now James Davison can't figure out what safety truck he's supposed to be in. Got a bunch of cars coming down pit road. Bunch of cars further back pitted in the Indy race.
You saw these group of cars pitting in non-stop, and Simon Pagenaud, the defending Indianapolis 500 winner, is at the head of this pack, but a small select group, most notably those at the back third of the pack.
So why did it take them so long to put a fucking windscreen on these cars? It seemed like something obvious to me.
Decided to roll the dice. Let's go.
You can do it now on 5 more stops, so that puts you in the window
to make it to the end. And stopping early puts you in the strategy to go to the end. There you see the fuel windows.
They're going back to commercial again? Jeez.
The back of the
That
screen.
Xfinity race is still on.
That's Ross Chastain. That lap traffic. Well, Ross.
So, through lap traffic, Ross has closed in to about a second behind Chase Briscoe. Maybe a little less than a second now. And there's no cars between Chastain and Briscoe at the moment.
A lead change if you're not careful and you choose the wrong place to go. But Chase Briscoe did a nice job of navigating that.
Okay, Steve. 19 car, just past Noel Gragson for 6th place. With the right front fender messed up on the car. So, how is that happening?
So, you mentioned that what adjustment they make when they fix that fender, they're not going to know. You're going to think I'm crazy, but the fender may stay if I'm Jeff Bender and the crew chief. And here's why. If I'm close enough that I'm a half a pound of air or a half a turn of
They
wedge,
should be pitting any time now in the Xfinity race. They're well within the window to make it. I'm surprised nobody's pitted yet.
So it depends on what he's fighting. If he's fighting any sort of front end grip or front turn, of course I'm going to grab that fender. If the issue is in the back of the car and I'm already free, the last thing I need is more front downforce.
See Ross Chastain doing his
Surprised to see Justin Haley go a lap down, but Briscoe's lapped all the way up to about 10th place.
at Dover, because we talked about driving down into that hole, is that, we've heard a lot with this new tire, that a lot of drivers are loose on corner entry. Well, if that right front fender is knocked in, that really helps that. That really helps the car tighten up on corner entry. Now, it also will tighten it up to the middle and all, but he could be actually getting a little bit more help from being tighter on corner entry than he's getting hurt by being tight in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, but it's easier to make an adjustment if you're tight in that
45 laps to go in the Xfinity race.
Make your car faster there than it is to tighten it up entry to the corner, because that usually tightens up the center too.
We're starting it, man.
Well, I was going to say, I've learned most of my handling issues start on corner entry, right? That's the start of the corner. Let's take a look at the Toyota driver update. You can see right here, the 19 of Brandon Jones in the 6th position. Well,
Riley Herbst is going to go a lap down.
earlier with a juice cone. In 5th, Riley Herbst in 11th. So, 2 of them in the top 10, and Riley knocking right on the outside of that top 10, trying to recover from a pit road issue. I like your sales job on that fender, but, I talk about that in jest, but it's true, DJ. I want the fans to understand, as a crew chief, that's what I have to dissect. When you say you're loose, you're tight, is it an entry issue making the middle a problem? Like, if I fix the loose end, do you have to fix the middle? I can't fix everything. I'm sorry. I know you want all this, but I don't have that many dollars to
Ed
turn.
Carpenter's still on pit road. Or he's back again. He's back home again. Poor Ed.
They were going to be a change away and behind, basically. If they come in and they fix that, then you don't know how to adjust the race car from that point, because all you can do is go all the way back to what it was before, and the track has changed since then.
As I have to bring this up with 42 laps to go, there's still about 20 laps outside their window. We talk about the Dover and the Monster Mile and all the issues they have. How many of these guys right here have done a green flag pit stop at Dover? Right?
That's a challenge.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't think of that. There's like never green flag stops in Xfinity races at Dover anymore.
That's Tab Boyd, the spotter, and crew chief Taylor Boyer having a conversation about getting them short. What they mean is come early. They have 20 more laps of fuel, but if you come right now and put fresh tires on, you're going to get
40 laps to go in the Xfinity race.
He's only 6 seconds back, so he could gain time and lead. All right, DJ, there it is. Pit road, tough entry.
Show the Matt Kenseth highlight. Show the Matt Kenseth highlight. Come on. You know you want to in DC.
It's very narrow, very tight. You can see contact.
They're talking about pit road at Dover.
People not doing their job, so a lot of things.
Dude, that pit road at Dover is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I remember when they didn't have enough pit stalls.
Well, that's the beauty of what Daniel Hemrick at the 8. I love that joke because remember, he doesn't run full time. This is a guy that has yet to win in the 3 big National Series truck.
Excuse me.
He was a Cup driver a year ago. He wants to, let's get him in victory lane. If I'm the 8, maybe I get him. The problem though, Jeff, is when the guy makes a mistake coming on pit road, it can bring the yellow.
IndyCar race is going back to green right now. So we go back to that. Scott Dixon, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Takuma Sato, Andretti to the outside of Sato, going to 1. Nope, he thinks better of it. He stays behind him.
was on the outside of a 4-car wide. Guys are 3 wide coming around 1 as they come.
Daniel Hemrick's the first car to pit road in the Xfinity race.
Way on the outside right there. Rookie Renus VK in that 21 car. Here comes
Rossi. I like Rossi.
Rossi has teammate Hinchcliffe. VK doesn't give up on the outside. He goes for an outside move with a clean track. Oh boy.
Oh man, that was almost bad.
Rossi told me this morning that VK's been writing checks that he's not sure VK can cash. He is bold and brave. And
Harrison Burton on pit road in the Xfinity race.
He tries to chase him down, and further back it looks like Tony Kanaan going 3 wide. Tony Kanaan and Beach.
TK.
With Alex Palou in the purple Dale coin car. Power and Pagano nearly touched wheels on the front straight, side by side to come around the short.
Ooh, is that a commitment line violation on Harrison Burton? I forget the rule. He slid. No, I wouldn't call that a commitment line violation.
Make moves happen now. If you're going to win today, you've got to start getting to the front from deep in the field. James Hinchcliffe just saw he got past in turn 3.
Oh, Brandon Brown's parked really close to his pit wall.
Right there. Back up to 4th place. But the action is really frantic. In the
Ron Hunter race caught Scott Dixon for the lead.
But I think right now he's content to just ride.
I would just be riding, save gas. I know how this race works. Every year. Fuel mileage.
Just chaos.
Well, I guess they are penalizing Harrison Burton for a commitment line violation.
About these restarts, and he said he kind of had Indy on restarts, have to throw out the parameters.
Everybody's on pit road. Briscoe, well, Chastain's not pitted yet. He's the leader now. But Briscoe's to pit road now. If there is a late restart in the Xfinity race, I will focus more on that. But right now, it's looking like it's going to go green, and Briscoe's going to drive to an easy win unless he gets a penalty or a really shit pit stop here.
Hinchcliffe making a move. Another teammate, Marco Andretti. Marco goes back to 5th place. Hinch is going forward.
Hinchcliffe up to 4th.
For these 3 teammates, Rossi, Andretti, and Hinchcliffe would be to work together, but they have Rossi, or they have VK stuck in the middle of them, and he's not giving any quarters. Rossi gets by.
Whoa, man.
Erickson on the inside, but look at VK trying to make a move back on the outside.
VK about blocked Erickson into the grass.
This thing though, moves, he might not have a choice here as the Husky chocolate Honda that.
Now, when I was a dumbass little kid that didn't know any better, I used to laugh at IndyCar because they have a no blocking rule. Like, whoa, you're wimps. Then you get older and you realize, yeah, of course they got a no blocking rule. I was like 8 years old, man. What did I know? All I knew was NASCAR.
Well, you see that second Chevrolet there, Pato Award in 12th. He's starting to make his way forward. He started 15th, so he's made up 3 since the start. That's a good move. He's chasing down Alex Palou in the Dale point with Team Go-Kart. I misidentified him.
Oh, we got a car spun at the entrance of pit road at Dover. If he doesn't get it fired up, that might be a yellow. He's like past the commitment line, but before the timing line for pit road. Okay, he got it going. It was the 99, Josh Balicki, I guess. Whoever's in that car. That's not Balicki. Who's in that car? Who knows? Who cares? He spun getting to pit road, but he didn't hit nothing. How many times you seen that in iRacing or NASCAR heat? Did he just compare iRacing and NASCAR heat? Yes, I did. They're both video games. One's just way better than the other. So in the Xfinity race, the only cars that have not pitted are Brandon Jones, Noah Gregson, Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, and Anthony Alfredo. When it cycles through, Briscoe will still be the leader, and there's 29 laps to go. Now Brandon Jones is pitting. Well, I keep waiting for the guys in the Indy race to start pitting too, but I realize they're in a different race. Because I'm watching pit stops in the Xfinity race. Hey, Ed. And the IndyCar race is going on right now. Dixon and Hunter Ray and Sato have pretty much pulled away. Well, Hinchcliffe's pulled away with them. Everybody from 5th on back is over a second and a half behind. that. Now let's focus back on this Xfinity race.
Strategy call out of the 19.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. I would have run it maybe a little bit further if I were going to do that, just for that situation. But I like the call.
Gregson, Annette, Allgaier, and Alfredo have still not pitted. For Allgaier's sake, I would like to see a caution. But I doubt he's going to get one.
But Allgaier right there is also on the racetrack, just trying something different, right? I mean, Briscoe's come to pit road early. The 7 says, I got to somehow make up for this issue we had on pit road. Maybe he could catch a caution. That's what the 7's gambling.
Good to see Hinchcliffe in the top 5 in Indianapolis right now. Andretti's still 5th. Rossi's 6th. A lot of guys I like running up front.
Right there with him.
Boy, Chastain is right behind Briscoe when this cycles through. 25 to go, and this could be a good battle for the win. If it heats up, I'll have to pay a little more attention to it. Still green.
Pushed really hard right here. Only 25 laps to go. This is not about saving tires or anything like that. This is about going and getting spots.
So we see the 10 running the 98 back down. We'll end the pit cycle. The 10 of Ross Chastain actually had leapfrog James Briscoe. So right here, the 10's in front of the 98. Look at the 98.
Wow.
He knew he had to make it happen.
Wow.
Come back in front of him. We'll see if that right there was the pass that works for the lead.
That was awesome.
Was it contact or was it?
Hey, you remember Briscoe moved Chastain at Pocono. You think Chastain forgot about that? And Briscoe just moved him again when they got off pit road and Chastain was in front of him. How hard do you think Chastain's going to drive now to get to the back bumper of that 98 car?
That's your motivation for Chastain. Now, Briscoe
I'm kind of pulling for Chastain to catch him. Yeah, till the end of the Xfinity race now, I'm going to have the audio on for this. This could get good here with Briscoe and Chastain. IndyCar is just single file right now. Dixon, Hunter Ray, Sato, Hinchcliffe, and Andretti. And they're 23 laps in.
All over that surface. DJ, I have to wonder if that's not affecting the handling on that 98 a little bit.
Yeah, it has to. And what you're doing now is finding yourself trying to go to another part of this racetrack that maybe you haven't tried all day to see if you can get that grip or that feel or that speed back that you had before.
On the left side, you see last pit.
There's a lot of lap cars in front of Briscoe. Allgaier's coming to pit road. He's giving it up. 21 laps to go. Ooh, don't spin out, buddy. Damn, he barely made it. Did I see? I saw the Suicide Squad trailer and the Gotham Knights. So, Suicide Squad trailer, bleh, looked stupid. It's not even gameplay, so we literally still know nothing about that game. Gotham Knights, though, looks fucking great. I'm actually way more excited for Gotham Knights than I am Suicide Squad. Oh, yeah, spoiler alert, there's no way that Bruce Wayne is dead. He is totally going to be alive. But Gotham Knights looks awesome. Suicide Squad, not so much. Very disappointed there. Caution's out in Indy 500. Don't know what for. Oh, the 8 car. Hard in the wall. Ericsson. Wow, Ericsson pounded the outside wall. Hopefully he's okay. Now his car's on fire. It's the second car today catch on fire. Get out of there, man. Okay, Briscoe and Chastain are working heavy lap traffic. Come on, Chastain. Gregson's pitting. He's one of the last cars that hasn't pitted. Now it's just Michael Annett and Anthony Alfredo that have not pitted. Gregson did a good job getting the pit road. There you go. I gave Noah Gregson a compliment. God, I don't think Chastain's going to be able to get Briscoe unless Briscoe just gets really held up. I heard Chris Rice tell Chastain a minute ago on the radio, said, don't worry, I promise you we will get our cars faster. I think they just don't have the speed to get to Briscoe. They need a lot of help through lap traffic, a lot of help. And Briscoe did a good job of getting through those lap cars because now there's about 4 cars between him and Chastain, coming to 15 to go. Yeah, you know, Ed, I asked the same question. So they said Suicide Squad is in the Arkhamverse. Well, how the hell is Deadshot black now? Because he was white. He was a white guy in all the other Arkham games. So, how is Deadshot black now? I don't know. I'd be like if, like, in the next Black Panther's played by Jason Statham. And wow, Ross Chastain just lost any chance he had at winning this race. He got held up by 2 lap cars racing side by side and almost wrecked and had to get out of the gas. So Briscoe's definitely got it won without a yellow. Poor Chastain.
So now you almost wonder.
14 laps to go.
Driver right here, DJ. It's a tough call. But
Briscoe's got 3 seconds over Chastain. Michael Annette's the leader. He has not pitted yet.
Briscoe down. Yeah. So
But any time now.
Just keeping Cindric in that 22 car. Just keep them behind you, and just save a little bit of tire in case you get a late caution, where your tires are just a little bit better. It's a tough decision for Cindric trying to get by those lap cars, trying to get the race to Chastain, but maybe an idea. Just slow down. Don't drive the car as hard. Just to try to save a little bit of tire.
Yeah, that's certainly a great idea and plan to have there. But you're so frustrated as a driver at that point to be thinking that, hey, back up and save this as we see Annette coming to
Michael Annette to pit road, so that officially puts Briscoe in the lead. 3 seconds ahead of Ross Chastain.
Took your possibility of a win away, probably.
I refreshed the leaderboard. Hadn't updated in a while. This leaderboard's defective because it says Chastain's leading and he's clearly not.
Into his spots, a wrench in the right rear chassis adjustment, just 2 tires. Trying to minimize time lost on pit road, and that's away.
With only 12 to go, no reason to put 4 tires on it. Fresh right side tires on it.
Ed, you're right. It's not right. It's a legit question. Deadshot was a white guy, so in continuity, how the hell is he black now? You know. Like I said, it's like if tomorrow Jason Statham was Black Panther and Marvel didn't say anything about it. It was like, yeah, a new Black Panther movie starring Jason Statham. Like, what?
Yeah, you can see the combination of Allgaier having to start.
So yeah, that's a little confusing.
Chase Briscoe setting a torrid pace, and then Allgaier staying out there for a lengthy amount of time on those older tires.
10 laps to go. Briscoe head still. All the IndyCar guys are on pit road right now. The leaders included. That includes Dixon, Sato, Ryan Hunter-Ray.
The 7 of Allgaier is racing the 18 of Herbst for the 8th position. So as we focus on the lead, it's a battle in front as well. We see the 19 on the right side of the screen. Brandon Jones on those 2 right side tires, currently in 4th.
Allgaier's about to go a lap down.
In 4th place on those 2 right side tires.
Dixon keeps the lead off pit road at Indy.
But it's 6th before that start, before that sequence of stop.
Rossi up to 3rd. He gained 3 spots. Ryan Hunter-Ray dropped a few spots.
Surprised at a few others that lengthened that pit stop out or that cycle out, staying out there before they came to pit road. I was surprised that they all took 4 tires at that point in time.
Jesse.
So guys, right now standing down in the pits, and I'm feeling a couple little raindrops. Not enough to stop the race, but it will be interesting.
Jesse Awuji says it's raining a little bit. Oh yeah, I see it. There's raindrops on Briscoe's camera. I told you there was a chance of a little shower today. Hopefully it's not a... Come on, actually, no, fuck it. NASCAR, throw the caution. Come on, let's go. Ed, I'm watching NASCAR and IndyCar at the same time. Right now I'm focusing on the NASCAR race because they've only got 7 laps to go. But it looks like it's raining.
Oh, I love that common voice right there of Tim Vito. A lot of experience on the roof for the driver of the 98, DJ.
Yeah, but as a driver, you know it's not slick in that. And I realize that he has driven before. But to tell you that, this is one of the worst places, Jeff.
6 laps to go.
Of moisture on the track, and you're out of control. So that's the last thing you want to see when you windshield.
Boy, Briscoe's given up a second of his lead in the last lap or so, but still, only 5 to go. He's 2 seconds ahead.
Like if they got a caution and finished under caution, great. But if they red flagged it and he had to restart, Vito was like, "Hey man, we don't need to intertrain it. Well, what you yourself?"
What you could do though is say, "Hey, you have 2 seconds back to Chastain. So with 5 laps to go, we're not saying let's shift to the Sunday cruise, but don't push the issue, right? A couple tenths off may make it a little bit more comfortable. As we see the 7 of Allgaier continues to fight. I like this fight out in the 7. That pit penalty put him behind. He was positive on the radio, DJ, and here he is grinding every point, passing his teammate Annette for the 7th position.
Well, one thing that Justin Allgaier would never do is give up in a race. He's going to give you everything he has every lap that the race is going. So you appreciate that. Jeff's made the point a number of times that win yesterday was huge for this driver and this team, and it allows you to overlook things like what happened today. You don't like anybody to make mistakes, but things are going to happen, and he's just going to
3 laps to go.
out there and compete it hard.
7 cars on the lead lap.
By the 98 of Briscoe, he's lapped all the way up to the 7th position here.
Yeah, Briscoe pretty much stomped their ass today.
Series really all summer long, 100 laps. We have not seen this series run this long in quite some time, and the 98 is proving that it's not phasing him at all.
And
2 laps to go this time.
He needed to have an answer for Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric has been winning all the races, taking all the points. And to be blunt, this 98 car has not had the speed to win the races. You know, and they've said that. They said that we just aren't good enough. We've lost some, but today they have completely.
Look at Danica. She does look good today.
And to win this race would be an answer that they needed.
1 lap to go. Briscoe 2 seconds ahead. Going to bring it home for an easy win.
By Credit One Bank. The 98 of Chase Briscoe, a day ago, spins on his own, wrecks his race car. They go to a backup. Starts last on the day today. Comes through
Worst to first. Briscoe started dead last and he just won the race.
Told his wife he was going to win today. His wife put it on Twitter for everyone to see. He backs it up.
And Briscoe called his shot.
Chase Briscoe
Hey, Steve Letarte stole my call. Babe Ruth wins at Dover. Chastain 2nd, Cindric 3rd. Brandon Jones 4th. Daniel Hemrick, top 5. 2 good races in a row for the 8 car because Jeb finished 7th yesterday. Hemrick finished 5th today.
Teams do things like this.
So there you go.
Things happen, they believe in themselves, and it just Jeff was pointing out there. You know, this team needed to do something. They've been beat on the racetrack, and then they beat themselves yesterday. So this is a great comeback for them. And hey, I don't mind them putting that out to him, calling his wife and saying he was going to win. If you don't believe it, it's probably not going to happen.
There's the top 12 on the leaderboard.
Said at the beginning of the season he wanted to win 8 races. Well, this is number 6.
Whoa.
A lot of bacon. There you go.
And because you win the 2nd race, you get to do a burnout because you ain't got to bring this car back.
Especially hard there, where that straightaway banked 9 degrees. Yeah, I never tried that either, Jeff.
Well, that was a very mad race. I'm sure it's a sign of things to come for later today.
Think about the battle you had with Kyle Busch.
IndyCar's getting ready to go back to green after that last caution. So, right now, it appears
a rare mistake, really on his own, racing the 22, spins this car out. They go to a backup.
Oliver Askew and Simon Pagenaud, Willpower, a bunch of cars stayed out. Scott Dixon is in 8th on fresh tires. The top 7 in the Indy 500 stayed out. And we're going back to that race now. Woo, back to Indy. Boy, Pagenaud's getting the lead already before they even get to the start-finish line. Man, I love IndyCar's restart rules. None of that, oh, don't change lanes for the start-finish line. Don't pass for the start-finish line. No, it's like fucking green flag, go. Maybe NASCAR should do that. Maybe that's the next rule we should have, along with the choose rule. Green flag means go. Simon Pagenaud's the leader now. Well, I feel bad for Dixon.
Got the slowest car in the field with Ben Hanley doing his best to try to stay out of trouble. This is a time where you gotta just settle in. These guys driving crazy.
Chase Briscoe won the Xfinity race. We're watching Indy now. Till the Cup race later. A little over an hour. Unless it keeps raining at Dover. Doesn't look like it's raining now. Bright and sunny in Indianapolis, though.
Nothing is frightening. Rinus VeeKay, the 19-year-old from the Netherlands, in his first Indy 500, is pulling off moves of a veteran, and he does another one there, inside on Ben Hanley.
stark contrast to the vets and these new young guns that are in the IndyCar series. Santino Ferrucci comes around the outside of Hinchcliffe.
Who are these guys? I know Pagano, Power, Castroneves in the top 5.
Hitch stayed with it, and now they get a big run down the front straightaway. I'll tell you, Dixon really was able to get away from Hunter Ray. There's Ferrucci in another move. He was right up against the wall, inches and inches from the wall.
I gotta say, he flagged this. He told me 2 days ago. He says, Biff, are you ready for some outside moves? Because I'm going to execute them. I'm not happy with where I qualified. I'm going to put on a show for you guys.
Certainly been frustrated, Townsend, with being outrun by his rookie teammate Palou, but he's gotten by him. There's Palou right there, about 8 or 9 positions behind his teammate, and he is really making some strong moves.
Joseph Newgarden there in the red-white car has his hands full. That's Colton Herta in the white, orange, and light blue car all over the back, followed by Alex Palou. So all kinds of action. Connor Daly being passed by Tony Kanaan into turn 1.
Santino's looking for a move on Marco Andretti now as he's trying to set it up off 1 and 2.
Riding there with Connor Daly in the US Air Force Chevrolet. Daly is a little further back. He's in 23rd position at the moment. Andretti on the inside of Ben Hanley.
Ben Hanley's just got to hang on here. He started all the way in the back. He's exerting his driver.
I'm not sure how this strategy, I mean, you can't really complain. Pagano's got the lead, but I mean, he's off sequence with like Dixon and the other guys. Will Power is too. And everything works out for Will Power.
About 6 seconds to guys like Scott Dixon, who made moves early. Kelly, what's going on down there?
And Townsend, Marcus Erickson has now been released from the infield care center. Disappointed for sure. I heard you, Marcus, say you were finding your rhythm. The car felt good. What led into that crash?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We need to look at the data and see how it happened. The car was feeling really, really good. The Husky chocolate on that, was on rails, and we were making progress during that first stint. And yeah, I was feeling really, really, really good out there. So it sort of took me by surprise that the rear stepping out on me.
So should I play something? I know Indy 500's on, but I feel like I should play something until the next race starts. I don't know.
I really felt like we had a car to fight for the win today, and I think I showed that in the first 25 laps, that we really was making progress, and I felt so good out there. So it makes it even tougher, and even more disappointing.
Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Got a text from somebody. Okay, hold on a minute. Well, actually, hold on about an hour. I've got to go. Something just come up. I have to go, but I will be back. Hopefully, I should be back within an hour. This shouldn't take long. I got to run, and we'll pick this up after the cup race starts, okay?